I remember, I'm not sure I remember was it Mirambika?
Free Progress School, yeah.
Wasn't there the Mothers International School?
There are two schools.
Right, that's what I
There are two schools.
The Mothers International is a regular CBSE,
Yes.
Central Board of Secondary Education
Right.
school, a recognized school with paid staff and everything,
Right.
all according to the government laws. But besides that, we try to bring in integral education and teachings of Sri Aurobindo and the mother into the whole this. But Mirambika Free Progress School is a school based entirely on Sri Aurobindo's and mother's teachings. And the Mirambika Free Progress School has no paid staff, only volunteers. And the student teacher ratio is 3:1. And the total number is less than 150. So it's a very small school to do experiments in education. Basically, it was meant for teacher training. Train the teachers how they should teach in the free progress way.
Also, I think because Tara Didi had stayed with the mother at the Pondicherry, the Delhi ashram has kind of continued to follow because it's the only branch which mother had set up. So we have continued to be doing the things like everybody there is a volunteer. There is no paid people. Things are provided for people. There are different departments which have been opened. So in that journey, one has also maybe learned all that was happening in Pondicherry because a lot of new departments are there. We have our vocational training courses there, where about 50 to 60 young people from very marginalized spaces from different parts of India, they come, they enroll, and a lot of work is done with them. So there is education at Mothers International, there is education at Mirambika, but there is also education which happens for these vocational trainees. From morning till evening, I mean it's done completely, it's a residential thing that is done, completely free, boarding, lodging and a little pocket money also which is given. So they do English, they do computers, they do baking, they do carpentry, they do office management, they do gardening, Shramdan which is an offering in the morning. So if you look, they go into the handmade paper unit. So I think the way Pondicherry departments had come, with Taradi holding that as an inspiration and also looking at building the resources within is what we have all been learning. And that in small ways one is trying to replicate at Madhuban. So education is a very, very important part of changing the mindset of people. And Taradidi will tell you about the Kechula school also. So we have Delhi branch, then after Delhi branch we have 3 other centers. We have Kechula, which Pranjal has started. Kechula is in Odisha. The only way to go there is by air. So even if you go or by a train, you go till Visakhapatnam or Bhubaneswar, one of these 2 spots. And from there you go 5 hours by car and then 45 minutes by a motor launch because there is no roadway there. And it was completely a space where there is abject poverty. There are families which were only drinking and no kind of an education, and I think there was nothing to eat, so they would even eat rats and other rodents. They're still doing
no
that.
education there before you.
Yeah, you're asking.
I'm remembering reading a little bit about this.
Yeah.
I don't know, 1 year ago.
How did you choose this place?
There was a super cyclone in that area. At that time we raised 1 crore of rupees. In those days 1 crore of rupees was a lot of money. We raised 1 crore of rupees and then we had to go and work ourselves to make sure that the money was not misused. And so this young man, Pranjal, he is my nephew actually, but he is a total disciple of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. And from the age of 15 years, totally dedicated himself to the ashram. He's never had any interests outside. He had gone there to construct 4 schools with that money. And during that period, he was still going around helping people. So they swam across the river to almost, it was not an island, but because it is connected by road somewhere very far. So they reached there and saw this place. It was so beautiful. It was very beautiful, and totally only these tribals were there. So he decided to work there. He started with forestation, then he started with training the farmers. Then they started a school, then they saw that school is not enough. They started the boarding house. Now it's a beautiful little place where we have excellent facilities. This school is, you will be surprised that these children all speak fluent English. So people who go to volunteer, for them this is the best place because they can actually talk to the children. In all other organizations that are working for the poor, it becomes difficult to talk to the children or anything because they don't speak any other language. Here they speak English, they speak Hindi, they speak Odia, they speak their mother tongue. They can recite Sanskrit shlokas for 2 hours without repeating. They can do the Havan, the fire, the fire sacrifice program, that what it is called, Havan. They can do that without adult help. They can sing over 200 devotional songs and patriotic songs. And now, of course, the school is one of the best in that area.
It's a lot of productivity for a crore rupees.
No, that crore didn't come here. That crore was only for...
This was more money.
This is entirely by the ashram funding.
Tara, what really interests me is when you tell me that these people were so hooked on alcohol.
They still are.
It's amazing how did they manage to create this kind of environment. I would have imagined it would be really unsafe and very...
No. We have purchased the land which can be purchased. You can't buy tribal land. Whatever land did not belong to the tribals, we have purchased. And we have made our own construction. And now we have all the children in the boarding school. The village has no children at all. All the children are in the boarding school. And they are entirely free. Nothing is given to them. Nothing is paid by them. It's all run entirely on donations.
Where do you raise the funds for this particular school?
It comes. You want to do something good, it will come.
See,
It comes.
Having worked with the Delhi ashram, I've always been told that you do a good project, money will come. It's not that we have a lot of money, but somehow it is always project based. You start a project and there are always good people. That happens. So we've never stopped a project because of money, because none of us are looking at money as something which will come to us.
This is something so other orientation of mine, because there's a place right here, this Cyrus community, and Bruce and all, they started the project with absolutely no money, and all the money came. So it's a different orientation of consciousness that does the project first and the money last, which is exactly what to me distinguishes it from a spiritual project, is spiritual first and money.
In many ways, we are different. You see, all the NGOs, many NGOs are funded by American money, a lot. So the money comes there, but recently I had read an article of how the funding is used in all these places. 80% of the funding goes into the organization, which means they hire a building, they pay for electricity, they pay for water, they pay the staff and all that, and then the remaining money goes to the target children. Probably only 20% finally reaches the target. Whereas in our organization, there is nothing of the kind. The ashram runs the offices, the ashram does everything.
Centralized.
And we have not a single paid person in our organization for the children, to work for the children. All are volunteers. So the entire money that comes goes directly to the children. What we have done, we have, there itself we have about 150 children, and we also have about another 100 children in other villages around the country where we are giving money for the education of children. 250 children we are educating with sponsorship from friends. Each friend takes either one child or two children or three children or four children, whatever they want. And they pay every year for those children. And we give them full reports about the child, and they can go and visit the child anytime. And that is how we have so many people who have taken these children and are giving us the money to educate them.
See, I have a pamphlet by Gandhi, which was given to me by Siddhartha Lotse. He said, not Sarvodaya, but Nityodaya, the well-being of the least, a culture by the way they look after the most vulnerable. So when you talk about these children, it brings to mind that Nityodaya, which is the well-being of the least, And when you see the movie Lion, you recognize that in one generation, I was talking to somebody in the group who had come from the Holocaust. You take them and give them the education and the privileges, and in one generation they're capable of being the next nuclear scientist. Another person is this person who wrote, he was a tailor, and he's written about the world and everything and the state of the world, and there's nothing they can't do. So, Nityodaya.
No, it's true. We circulate our leaflets, and when people see our work, if they are happy, they contribute. That's what it is. We never have money, and we are never short of money. That's the situation.
That's what I have grown on.
But helpers, you volunteers you need, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah, volunteers are
Volunteers.
always welcome.
Volunteers are welcome.
Always welcome.
That is what it is.
How about the alumni, the people who
They really help.
they connect continuously?
Yes, they do.
Pardon?
The alumni, Mother's Blossoms.
Mother's Blossoms is becoming very active now. The Mothers International School alumni, they are all over the world. The results are so good, and they are everywhere. And they are very helpful otherwise also. We haven't actually ever approached them that way, but now they have started by themselves, they are wanting to do things.
See, I think we've used a lot of our time in doing the work. We haven't been, even if you go through our website, it is not great. We've not been conscious of building something which is our brand or something. We do realize that we've only invested our time and energy in the work. Maybe a time has come where we are feeling the need from outsiders that could you upgrade a few things. But we need people to do that. And that is also very, very important.
So much
Because
work.
everything is being
So
done
much
by
work
us.
to do in time
Everything is
you
being
spend
done
on
by us. So Viv
projecting
knows
yourself.
what I'm talking of. She's been to Madhuban. So we don't have great websites or media and things like that. But the beckoning to people always is come and help. But if you look at the work, well, the work is sincere. We have to learn a lot still, but it's a lot of sincerity. It is a lot of connect with the people we are working with. It's a belief in the people. So in Madhuban, if I see each village home has sent their children, a boy or a girl, to the Delhi ashram as vocational trainees. When we look at these vocational trainees in every industry, in every part of the world, you feel very happy that they've grown on that path of sincerity. So I think that's the gift we all get. And that's something which we are also bringing here to you people. And we've also started hosting the Oneness, Sourcing Our Oneness program in Vannivas, which is from this 24th of September to 30th of September.
It's something very similar to this OM.
So-
OM is basically meant only for the US. That we are trying to cover the entire world.
Jaya and Helena
It
from-
is started from Auroville only, and
Started
it's
from
being
Auroville.
controlled from there only.
Yeah, by them, and then we said, okay, take the space. So this is the second time that oneness will happen there. So I think coming to home for us, for me personally, it has kind of meant as a connecting the loose threads. And one is aware that there are many people maybe who do not know much about Sri Aurobindo and Mother, but there are always ways of connecting and understanding and knowing, and that's the hope, and that's the feeling that one is getting. So what if you don't know? You know what you know, and we are all on the same path. And that's that there is no religion, but there is deep spirituality. And I think that's very important as far as the feeling we are going from here with. That we're connected deeply.
How is the interaction with the projects like Auroville? And I'm specifically asking any children from Delhi Ashram who have gone to
Oh
Auroville.
yes, every child
Every
goes.
child goes. Everybody goes.
Every child goes
Because
from
all
Mothers
the
International
centers,
School.
all the centers, whether it is in the United States or in India, they have got a problem as to how to relate.
No, we haven't.
We don't have that problem.
We are a center where everybody comes. We are just very
No,
blessed.
we have in our school, one class goes every year to Pondicherry.
Pondicherry and then
And they go and spend 3 days in Auroville, every year. And we have a fixed program, and we do that program and come, and it's working fine, and children get to know about Auroville. And there are many who have gone and joined Auroville afterwards.
Yes. A lot of our vocational trainees are there in Auroville. A lot of our teachers from Mirambika are there in Auroville schools. So there's always the continuum and the flux and flow of that work.